Welcome back to Doris Ranch. It's been a couple of months since I was last here. The last time I was here was for Son of Honeysuckle, another PAA product that has now gone away. That was actually a summer release. Here today for Malbolge, a autumn fall release. Real quickly, two products that I'll be using for the first time today, but I'm not really new to the product. I have the regular tube 2.0, which is the black one. I just received about a week ago, I bought this, the Ice Tube 2.0. This is the same product that I already have, but I have the actual cube. So this is my first travel size of the ice, while I have the regular, the black. I've used that in videos. I talked about this in my Alum video. I have the new solid brick of Alum, and with the same purchase, I bought the everlasting stick of it. This will be my first time using the stick here today. It is a beast. It is huge. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. I'm going to pause the video, apply this, and then we'll get going. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I lied. Luna brought me the ball. Let's throw it for her one time. Now I'll start working up my pre-shave, which I have applied. I just haven't started rubbing it into the face yet. Good girl, Looney. My wife is to my left. You're right, sitting over here underneath another one of these filberts. You may call them hazelnuts. Around here we call them filberts. It actually comes from a French word that I talked about in one of my previous shaves, my first shave from this location. I believe that was plunder from Noble Otter. Let me get this worked up. I'll wipe off my hands and we'll get going. All right, so I got the pre-shave worked up into my beard, or yeah, that'd be accurate, right? Down below you, right here to my right, I have a mirror hanging. You'll see that in the B-roll. I've already scooped into my Captain's Choice bowl, Malbolge. Malbolge is an esoteric computer language that was first written and developed in 1998, maybe 99, late 90s. It is the most difficult computer programming language to learn. It is also the 9th level of hell in Dante's Inferno, and a really bad place. In French, it's like pronounced Malbolge, but I, being a Americano, simply call it Malbolge. There's no real wrong way to say any of these shave terms as long as people know what you're saying. I'm talking about the computer language written in the late 90s primarily. That is what we see here on the label, is a nod to that. One of mine and my wife's absolute favorite fragrances, probably easily our favorite autumn seasonal release from anywhere, period. I have the EDP, the solid, the whole nine yards. I need to pick up some more of the deodorant. It was just dropped again, actually this morning. My Semogue Finest Badger. This is the Galahad handle. I love this knot. I've had it soaking in my stainless steel bowl that I will use for rinsing. About 4 months ago, I've been really hesitant and slow to bring this to you. 4 months ago, 5 months ago, Leaf reached out to me and offered me to join their affiliate program. Long story short, I thought about it for a while. I accepted their offer. I have yet to really discuss it in any content or promote it. I'm just hesitant with these affiliate programs. Starting right now with this video though, I'm going to start promoting that program with my Leaf affiliate link that will be in the description. You, the buyer, will save 15% off of every product on the Leaf website. So just click on the link, that's all you have to do, and then from there that 15% should show up. If you have any problems, let me know and we can go from there. But that will be off of everything on Leaf's website. My understanding is everything 15%. If enough people use it, I can eventually get it up to 20% and maybe even 25%. But right now, that's where we have it, is at 15%. The buyer saves 15%. And that's exactly what I'll try to do with all affiliate programs. Most companies, they don't have a system that will allow it. And so I have reached out to others to try and make that happen, but it's just not something that most companies do. And that is because most people want the money for themselves. That's enough about that. Let's get into, I've used the razor a bunch. I have 5 different blades for it. I'll put those right up there. My wife and Emily, especially Emily, she's been using the Leaf multi-blade. I'll talk about that more in an upcoming video. But because of her and myself using this, we bought I think it was a 4-pack, no, 3-pack. It was a 3-pack, and I got a great deal on the 3-pack. It was like $9.99 for 300 blades on Amazon. I'll see if I can't find that and reattach it. It was the Treat Platinum that I love in this razor, the Derby Premium, which I love in this razor, and that's what I'm using today, is a first use Derby Premium. And then the third was the Shark Chrome. It's in the picture. The Leaf blades I do enjoy. If I had to have a favorite, it would probably be the Derby Premium first, and then it would be a toss-up between the Treat and the Leaf. Probably the Leaf second, or the Treat second and the Leaf third. I'm still playing with all the blades and playing with this razor, and this is the regular Twig that I'm using. I want to get my hands on a Thorn. I have paid for everything in this video except for the razor. That was a gift from Leaf for review to promote. So full disclosure, I did not pay for the razor. Everything else in this video, including this beautiful lather, I have paid for. The scent profile on this killer fragrance: tobacco, citrus, and anise. Funny story about anise that I might get into here in a second, which is the fragrance that you get from black licorice. So that's the best way. Anise is the fragrance of black licorice, essentially. Good way to put it. Tobacco, citrus, anise, musk, patchouli, burnt sugar, black pepper, and benzoin resin. Definitely gonna have to apply more water. I can already feel the menthol. I could feel it a second ago. And it will continue to grow. So real quickly, I talked about it a little more than a year ago in my Black Rock from McDuff's and the Shave Supply collaboration. That was a shave I did out in the rain underneath that tree. I gave the full story about my experience with black licorice. Prior to being 13, I loved black licorice. Since I was 13, I haven't eaten anything that remotely smells or tastes like black licorice. Long story short, and without leaving the details, a good friend of the family, he came and picked me up early in the morning. We drove to a place on the Pacific called Winchester Bay, and we were chartering a boat to go fishing for salmon. Particularly Chinook is what we were after. The limit back then was 3 per day. I did catch my limit plus 2 more that I was able to tag for other people. But we got up bright and early. The only thing, it was probably about close to a 2-hour drive down there. So we left the house, I think, at 4-ish. The drive down there, all I ate and all I drank was Coca-Cola, which I still do enjoy, and black licorice. We arrived in Winchester Bay. That was still the only thing I had in my stomach. It wasn't, I don't know, 45 minutes into our voyage that I began to feed the fish, to the point that that led to dry heaves, and I'll leave the rest of it out. But from that day on, I have had no desire for black licorice. So why do I say that? Although anise is one of the scent notes in this fragrance, I do not detect it. Not as black licorice. This is a very well blended fragrance. If you saw my Instagram post that I did yesterday, I discussed not really being able to pick out the citrus. Right after posting that, I reached out to Douglas, the artisan behind Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. And real quick too, I've talked about this before and I want to point this out. It's kind of a, once upon a time it was true. It isn't true and hasn't been true for a long time. Fran, that is Doug's better half and the other half of Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Once upon a time, when you saw this spaceman right here, that meant that Fran designed the fragrance. That hasn't been true in years, and so while there is still some truth to it, it is no longer true when you see the spaceman being used. That no longer means that the fragrance was developed by Fran and Fran alone. So I do believe that Malbolge, it is a Phoenix Artisan classic and has been around for years, one of their earlier fragrances. I do believe this was crafted by her. But some of the more recent ones that we've seen were not. I reached out to him and started asking him more questions about the citrus. The citrus is blood orange and bergamot. The blood orange being the peel, which is a lot of times where you get some of these, citrus fragrances from, is the peel. And so with that, I took the solid, put it up here, put the EDP here, and then I splashed the splash and then the star jelly up here. And for the rest of the evening, and I did it again this morning, it's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I sat out to try and find the citrus. I had always believed that the citrus, a lot of times these lighter oils that you find in the top, and this one has some heavy dark, and this is a very dark masculine fragrance, woody, spicy, warm, masculine dark fragrance. It's not a citrus fragrance by any means. And so sometimes citrus will be added to a fragrance, not so much for this not from the conversation I had from Doug, this is something I've learned along the way. But citrus is added, and these also more volatile notes like citrus can be added because they dissipate quickly. Would that be the right word for it? I don't think so, but they activate quickly and they bring the fragrance to life more quickly because they're volatile and they evaporate quickly, and they come into existence more readily. And so a lot of times you'll have citrus in there just to elevate and accentuate the other notes. And I was kind of thinking that that's what the citrus was doing in this fragrance. But after talking to Doug and setting my sights on what I had posted about not being able to detect it, I just had my wife, after telling her even what to look for, like I just did you, and I put splash on the back of my hand and immediately had her smell it because it's one of the top notes. And she was able to detect what she said smelled like orange peel and citrus behind it. So I kind of don't stand by what I said on Instagram yesterday, but I still kind of do, just in the essence of this is not a citrus fragrance. And it's there, and I and my wife both, you have to look for it to find it. This is a dark, unique, woody, spicy, masculine fragrance. It lasts for hours. You have all the right notes in it to make the splash last all day, from that tobacco and the patchouli, the benzoin resin. What else we got in there? The musk, and even the anise is one of the darker, heavier notes that will carry a fragrance, and then the burnt sugar. Burnt sugar, if you're not familiar with it, what you usually get, it's like a sweet caramel honey. I don't smell honey, but you get this sweet almost. It's about 80 degrees outside. You can see the soap drying with my yammering and rambling. A sweet, caramely kind of note. My wife, she says with this one, it almost smells, she detects like a vanilla-esque-ness out of it. And I agree with that. I could see how the nose would pick that out of everything. Extremely well balanced and blended fragrance though. I have the menthol-free Star Jelly. Working on a video that Chris Dobbins requested me to do, and I hope to release that this weekend, Chris, if you see this, along with another Willet Lather. I cannot say enough good things about this particular fragrance though. The Splash, the Star Jelly, they both, you can get 8-12 hours of wear out of them. Not a whole lot of projection. This is more of a close to the body fragrance. The EDP, you can get a decent foot or two projection out of it when you first apply it. This is a close to the body fragrance. Nothing else like it in my den. And I do wear it throughout the year. I wouldn't normally seek to wear it during the day on a hot summer day, but any cooler summer day or summer evening, while this releases in the fall and is an autumn fragrance, I believe you can wear it throughout the entire year, through the holidays and into the spring and summer. I do. And for those keeping score at home, while the wife and I love this and easily give it a 9 or a 10, with 10 being the highest, Emily isn't fond of it, which is expected from her. She's not big on the darker masculine fragrances. While there is a sweetness to this from the burnt sugar, this is not a sweet fragrance. An aromatic, woody, dark, masculine, deep and bold, rich. The tobacco, I didn't ask Doug, but from what I smell and what I detect, it is a flower, a tobacco flower. So if you're familiar with Doug's other tobacco fragrances, think Astra Planeta. Fresh. This is not a flowery fragrance, I'm not saying that at all. But the tobacco notes that you will get, that I get, is that of the tobacco flower. And I, without asking Douglas or reading it anywhere, I 100% believe that this is a tobacco flower note. Should have asked him that, but I didn't think about it. Someone asked me on Instagram if this was more Cavendish tobacco, which is another fragrance from PAA, or if this was Astra Planeta. So that's what made me think of that, was I actually answered that question this morning. And I reached out to Matthew Lawrence, a friend of mine and fellow YouTube creator, who loves tobacco fragrances, including this one, Cavendish and Astra Planeta. His opinion, just to make sure it coincided with mine. He and I, we were already talking when I asked him, but he agreed that it is a Astra Planeta and not a Cavendish. I love tobacco fragrances. I'm right there with Douglas Smythe and with Matthew Lawrence that tobacco hasn't been used enough and is often overlooked. Wearing one of my favorite PAA hats. I bought this one about a year ago as well. All of my gear from PAA, not my shirt, my We Shave shirt, I wore that to remind you about that. Alum. I get to use my Alum for the first time. I love watching it change colors for the first time when you're first using it. It's kind of, or it should be, this hazy, milky color. And then once I get it wet, it should then forever be like crystal clear. So let's see what happens. Get my face wet. We Shave. Lee Hazley. Never gonna get your name wrong now. Lee Hazley. I want to wet this just a little bit. Let's do it on camera. Lee is joining me for the month, me and Smiley, for the monthly edition of We Shave. We're talking about September 24th, and a week before that shave, right about a week before it, I want to announce the winner of that 7th ticket. And then beginning on that video, that live with Lee, I love this thing, it's huge. With Lee, I want to start doing the winners. And so in September, we will draw number 7. I wiped it off real quick. We will draw number 7 and 6, the October edition, which I'll put who's joining me. It's Wendell in November. It'll come to me. In October, we'll do 5 and 4. And then in November, we will do 3, 2, and 1. There'll be, I'll put a link to the entry video, which I believe is the Colgate. And for good measure, I will put the We Shave giveaway video in there as well. I almost never rinse off my alum. I just dilute it by using a splash and a balm. I do like the feel of the alum on my face. I love the old alum splashes from PAA. Prior to this bottle, this does not have alum in it, but prior to this bottle being released, this style of bottle, all PAA splashes had alum in it. But there's some people who either don't like alum or they have reactions to alum, and so because of that, they no longer use alum in their splashes. So for people who are new to PAA, no alum in this. But I think that's where I first developed my love and appreciation for alum on the skin, was from that. Recently, I was using my old bottle of Vloyd because it was re-released, and I was going to do a review of it, but I didn't. I love it. I think alum is a must for almost every shave, and when I find myself, when I don't use it, I feel naked, which is one of the reasons that led me to buying this, because it is the perfect delivery vehicle for alum on the go. It is just huge. What was this? I'll put it right up here. Hey Luna. Luna's playing ball with her mom. The net weight is 120 grams or 4.2 ounces, and it's just huge. And that is a solid piece of potassium aluminate, or is this alum? Whatever. I'm rambling now. Right, Luna? I didn't talk about it. I was showing you. Let this splash sit for a second. The 40. So I used my Smiles for Miles scoop, even though I really wanted to use my scoop that I just got from Ian that I showed in my last video. But I had to use this because I haven't received my dagger yet from Ian. Dog. One second, guys. Go home. So what I was saying before, an irresponsible dog owner came through with his dog not being on a leash and then not being close enough to control it. The 4-0 I started doing on this. This is my second tub of it, and when I started using it, I etched the 4-0 in there. Inside joke with my wife and I, when we were getting married, you know, you have the whole till death do you part forever kind of thing. We were drinking or something, and I promised her 40 years. And so we're right about at the halfway mark of that 40. And from there, it's become an inside joke of 40 this, 40 that. I can't go into the inside joke part of it, but otherwise it wouldn't be an inside joke. Come on, geez, man. So that's why that is there, and why I didn't use Ian's scoop for this. I don't know what I'm going to do here soon, because I'm running out of room to carve my 40. Probably got 4 or 5 more shaves, and then I'll either have to start widening it or doing an exclamation point or something. Love Star Jelly. I swear by doing the 2-in-1. I get great post-shave results out of it. Oh, damn fine shave. The Twig is on the milder side. If 5 is average, I would say it's about a 4, maybe a 3.5, 4. But I would give it a solid 4, especially when you experiment with blades. One of the reasons why I like the Derby Premium and that Treat and even Leafs over the other two is it just seems to provide a more efficient shave. I've yet to play with or experiment snapping blades in half. That's one of the next things I'm going to do, is start snapping Kai, feather, that kind of thing, and seeing what kind of shave I can get. But I do highly recommend using the Twig, especially if you are wanting a different razor, a single edge, you know, still like in the lines of the double edge. I know most of you wet shavers are familiar with this guy, but I love it and I appreciate it. And once again, I didn't pay for it. It was sent to me for review from the folks at Leaf, and you can save 15% by using my link in the description. It's the little big things, and it's only shaving. Never seems to fail anymore. It seems like there's always division and things going on in our culture, and that all it seems to bleed into our community. I don't know, our society. But save the drama for your mama. There's no room for it in shaving. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. With that, I'll leave you with it's the little big things. And with that cute little dog that came along, one of the little big things is being a responsible dog owner. That's actually a big thing, ain't it? Y'all take care. Malbolge should be available up until about the new year or so. Doug's got a whole bunch of releases coming, and this year did drop early, so got plenty of time to get it, but I wouldn't wait too long. It's a banger, I'm telling you. It is. It's epic, and the wife loves it, and I get lots of loving because of it. So thank you, Doug. Thank you, Francis, whoever developed it. It's amazing. Ramble schmamble. I'll see you real soon. It's little big things. It's only shaving. Let me say that like 5 times real fast. It's only shaving. 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 One more time for good measure. It's only shaving. Take care. Word to your mother. It's only shaving. Welcome to the B-roll. Luna and I and my trusty bride, who's been over there reading, trust that the shave went well. I want to thank you guys all again for joining me. I've had the camera mounted right there. Down below, I have my stool. This is the second stool that I bought. I don't know if I told you guys about reclaiming the one that I left up Blue River Reservoir, but anywho, so probably didn't talk much about that or this guy here. Not in very many of the photos either, but that's my setup. And let's get this shave going. Give you a 360. It's early September. The leaves are still green. I want to come back, probably around Halloween. Between Halloween and Thanksgiving is my plan. Thanks again for joining us out here at Doris Ranch. It's an absolutely beautiful day. And I got the best company an old fart like me could ask for. Y'all take care. And remember, it's the little big things.